ready. Stay tuned. We had a little rain delay, but we're ready to go right now. And man, I'm excited for today. Knock on wood here. Hopefully, it's not supposed to rain until tomorrow. We're going to have to deal with that again tomorrow. But it rained a lot this morning. So I'm going to say thank you so much for tuning in. Last night was awesome. Great. Awesomer. Yep, I said it. Awesomer. Not a word. But nevertheless, it's going to be awesome again. I've done a lot of cool stuff today. I met Al Sushi. They are great. Over in the Stock Park.
On our 16-second run from yesterday.
Yeah, great shorter for Ida Zetterstrom.
But usually on the first pass I like to show the whole thing, but it's going to be a little bit shorter today because there's a lot of cars here, so stay tuned. Alright, next up, Sean Reed.
Sean Reed pumps the tires and is going to coast on down. 766.
Next up, both sides, Dan Mercier. Smaller team trying to maybe eventually run full time.
ET, and things are just getting started. The Skag Power Equipment machine really. Too Tasty Challenge, Tony Stewart. Right there, 461. Look at Alan Johnson. He is laughing. It's qualifying, but it's competition.
Nobody
Aflac is going to the final round.
and Doug Coletta still drives it.
Doug Coletta's got a date with Tony Stewart. At 295.75. Hunter said he loves driving these funny cars because they are so unpredictable. He got a little taste of that right at the stripe.
Hey, Joe, I think there's nothing wrong with the right one.
He was talking me up in the Thunder Valley. No kidding. He was in there signing his autograph. You know, they what makes the weekend. Just like it's like classic. How I do all the stuff.
Starting to wash out, around 200 feet out, something like that, coming off the car. Here in this third qualifying session, 892 to the 60-foot. To complete the run. near the center line in the shutdown area, and Austin Prock takes. She's making the most of this opportunity, making.
All right, here we go. Two-man, two-pace challenge. Spencer Hyde in the head for Mustang. What did you do back
And 3:21.96. Fast Jack Beckman. A solid effort, but just couldn't hang with Fast Jack.
Yeah, they played together.
Check out the Play Nature Instant Replay. Both had 87 reaction time.
Yeah, they both had 87 reaction times. Beckman's car was quicker from the get-go, almost 200s to 60 feet. Danny Hood and that team just got after the Pete car.
All right. Final pair of funny cars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the first post out section and post out the back section of the regular qualifying. I'm going to video the
at 3:27, and the yellow fellas, J.R. Todd.
On JHG Crime coming up right now, but in the left lane, we have got Aaron Stanfield.
Oh, don't copyright me. I didn't think about that. I figured I was going to get the introductions, and I didn't realize.
In the right lane, we have got 6-time world
copyright. Nope, it's time for the Too Fast Too Tasty challenge for pro stock cars. As you heard Courtney say, it's time for Aaron Stanfield of One Car Cycling Rain, Johnson Tour Car Garage for Elite Racing versus Erica Enders in the red Johnson Tour Car Garage car for Elite Racing. It should be a good matchup here. Erica won last week in the semifinals. Let's see what happens here.
Very solid run for double A-Rod, 667.6, 204.29. That double 08 who was up on the wheel, E 042, who was shaking the time.
Next up is Greg Anderson, the HendrickCars.com course of the season.
Center, just talking about rising
comment.
to the occasion. Matt Hartford.
Got one half a
Gotta think that Hartford is feeling very strongly. A Model CO Camaro. Making the most of these Saturday race days.
And his driving has started to match the performance of the car as well, Joe. That's one of those drivers who, emotionally swings, I feel like.
Absolutely.
The race car. And you can see it last year. I think Matt would be forced to tell you that. His driving was not where it needed to be last year. Because the car didn't have a lot of faith in him. He left on Greg Anderson in the semis last year.
Greg Anderson, Matt Hartford is going to the final round.
Aaron Stanfield waits. Final round. Is a whole shot victory for Matt Hartford. Hartford 27 on the tree. Anderson 033.
So minus 220 means Gage Schreier is the odds-on
Pro
favorite.
Stock
So
Motorcycle
talking in terms of
Challenge.
like
Here we go.
So if you handed them $22, you win 10, which you get 32 then. In the Matt Smith case, if you hand them 10, you win 21, so you get 31.
And there you have it.
At the end of the day, if you wanted to work off of, that math, you could end up with the same amount of money. You've got to play significantly more. Gage Schreier,
Finally got
the same
stuff.
And
payout.
that's as seen by the odds makers who have calculated all. Got Matt Smith and Steve Johnson. Remember when this was like the greatest rivalry in pro stock motorcycle? A chance for a resurgence for Steve
just said
Johnson.
something I was
All he's
about
got to
to.
do is trailer
You
Matt
guys
Smith right now.
really aren't friends. Pretty big rivals. Here we go. Who's going to?
Saturday, 697 for Steve Johnson. He's going to the final round of the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge. Put on track. Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge. He's going to have a tough task.
The other lane over there. It's got me started.
Yeah, we were waiting for the smoke, waiting for him to pull through the water box. Mid burnout. It lost fire. You can see Eddie jump into position.
That's a lot of Vance Hines people with a lot of concern that you don't normally see.
So the tire's already hot. As I fire him up, roll forward. Look at that great camera work.
Thanks, Joe.
It makes you wonder what's going to happen when Gage Herrera pops the clutch
That was weird.
up here on the starting line.
If you're Chris Bostic, you're maybe wondering, like, all right, they got a problem over there. A Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge final round would be a big deal for Chris Bostic coming in on one of his best career races, certainly recently, going to the semifinals in New England. Just got to concentrate on his lane. Turn a green, hit the shifts, lay down a solid pass. Whatever will be, will be. Final pair, Gage Herrera and Chris Bostic. Gage Herrera, 687, 197.
Raining, and at NASCAR events or most events that rain, you're just kind of screwed. But here at the Thunder Valley Nationals, Middle Tennessee, you get to walk around the pits, you get to meet all kinds of people. And I have found my friend from yesterday, Stuntman the Outlaw. He's got a YouTube channel too. And what's your experience first time in the Thunder Valley Club?
Oh, first time in the Thunder Valley Club, it's just absolutely amazing. The hospitality is undeniable. The food is good, the people are great, and I tell you what, it's just a different experience in NHRA period, but when you get to the Thunder Valley Club, you are going to experience something truly amazing.
And we're talking about on your channel, plugging me in what I did. So tell us, what exactly do you focus on?
So on my channel right now, it's all about trucking. I drive trucks. I'm a cattle hauler and a heavy hauler, and so that's what I do. And at some point here in the near future, you're going to hear it here first, apparently. I'm going to transfer into the racing scene, and we're going to get back into racing. I love racing. That's my true passion. And so my channel is getting ready to switch to car content. So if you like that kind of stuff, and you like to go fast and have fun, tune in, and we're going to have a great ride.
So you said you're making some content other than the thing we just made about this race this week.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing all sorts of content behind the scenes. I've talked to some drivers and got some advice on what to do, where to go, all that good stuff. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to do on my YouTube channel too.
All right, one more question.
Okay.
What is your favorite part about the whole experience being at NHRA?
Oh man, the sound. I love the rumble, and I love the sound of you can't beat the sound of a drag car going down the strip. That's just my opinion. I could probably fall asleep to that right there, but that's just something that I've always loved. Cars have always been my passion, so I tell you what, that is my best experience, and you feel it in your chest. You don't go to many other sports events, and you feel it right there in your chest, so I do love that part about anything racing.
Make sure to check it out, Stuntman the Outlaw on YouTube. Anything else?
Nope, that's hey, listen, y'all do good, be good, never quit, and we'll see y'all next time. This is the Stuntman, sitting on the hill, reading the mail.
See you at the next session of Nitro.
All kinds of stuff. 2 hour radio wait. How was that? More Nitro.
Just past 3:30, Antron starts to smoke the tires. That's
All right, here we go. Next, Sarah Nitro car. Big shout. 7 Not right.
4:16.7, 2:13 for Brittany Ford. So Dan Mercy. Jim Overhopper and Nikki go to the number 4.
Well, prepare for the final round.
Smoke first for Justin, then for Sean. 5:04.6, 140.
All right, here we go. Final round. It's top fuel. Hopefully you can do that. Challenge. Animated racing. Here we go. The Cruella in the ass flat. Cruella racing. Full stop.
3:24, not only a solid run.
Also puts Tony
really
at
making a
number one
statement for
qualifying.
Tony, but at JH.
Strike 3:99.6, 3:19. Best run of the weekend for Paul. Clearly working on it. It did go down the racetrack. They were Spencer jumped off the throttle.
That was a great job.
Close on down, 104 miles per hour, 629.8.
Dad. So much. Man, that's bad. Great job.
Only 273 miles an hour for Hunter Green. So he was well on his way, just didn't quite make it all the way. And Ron Capps, not his best run of the weekend, but for tickets, 96 and a 97 for Ron Capps, a number 3 qualifier.
Hello, this is for Ron Capps
And
the
unless
Toyota
J.R.
GR
Todd,
Supra. Ron,
Julie
the most successful
Natos,
funny car racer in
Jack
this
Beckman, or
history.
Alexis DeJoy runs faster than
Wins
that.
at this facility,
know,
Valley,
it's just J.R. Todd,
you know,
Julie
ring, so to
Natos.
speak, this
Alexis
weekend, and his
Jack
name
Beckman,
going up there on the suites. Hear this.
463.183. Miles per hour. Look at that thing hopping around in the shutdown area. And Daniel Wilkerson, 4:00.326 for the win of the Mission.
Versus Pro Stock. I missed the first two passes.
Ownership change of the team.
I went down to tell J.R. Todd good job. He was down
full responsibility of the team.
along mid strip there, and I just ran down to the fence and yelled at him.
Titan power. You can see
Awesome
the
seeing
KB
Todd
Titan
win.
brand
Never
trust
won on this channel before.
rallying
Derek
around.
Kramer in the Get Biofuel Chevy Camaro.
Driver that is not in.
Racing. Oh well, I think no, he owns his own team. He just rents his engine from
Brian
KB
Fleck
Titan
down there.
Racing. All right.
Derek Kramer qualified no worse than 9th this year, Joe, until that week. Struggled a little bit for New England. The struggles, unfortunately, for this team will continue here into this weekend.
What an intense moment right here. Talk a little bit about the work that goes on in the cockpit of the race car, the 10.5 rev limiter.
That's a 671. Did he get there?
Kill the run. You don't want to short it. Kill the run. It's all in the hands of Derek Kramer at the moment. Will it go? Will it get off the starting line? Can they qualify? .706 up. Troy Conklin Jr.
Troy Jr. is back out of the field. Kramer is 13.
delivers in final qualifying.
Fernando Quarter Jr. Marking from the close side in the corral tequila Ford Mustang, and then on the far side, fourth off
job to the NHRA Safety Safari for making this track to be able to be ran on Ford twice today. Twice. And here we are racing the final session of Pro Stock on Saturday. So, good job. Great job to the NHRA Safety Safari. Making this track both safe and good. We're enough to have some good numbers played now. Let's see what happens here. And Coffin gets the show. 671 is required.
So tough and competitive at the moment. Troy Conklin Jr., Fernando Plata Jr. Both with the 672 Quadra, 673 Troy Conklin, and Troy
Troy's not going to make it after
Conklin
winning. He was the defending Pro Stock champion
this season.
on the channel. And then he missed the field. Man,
Jr. be a spectator.
not good.
Wow. Fernando Quadra.
Mason McGahey.
That is a shot.
Kenny Delco.
All three are going to be part of elimination. That is heartbreaking.
I love how Mason McGahey's colors. Now like the Metallica M's on his window.
Career.
Now like Kenny Delco's
Has now failed to
new
qualify
old paint scheme. It's a throwback
two
paint
times in
scheme.
the last 4 events.
Sounds like his
I do
engine
feel
isn't
the
liking it
need
very
to
much right now.
mention
That car is
everybody in a
off.
season where we've seen
That's
many
back on.
of the top competitors experience the pain
Weird.
of a DNF. It's just been a brutal season of competition in the
All right, let's see
40th
what happens.
anniversary tribute car.
Mason's ready.
Speed
Kenny,
shot.
it looks like they're a little bit hesitant, but they're fixing the
Paul
ball.
Levinsky and everybody who helped Kenny get out there and pursue his dreams of running NHRA Pro Stocks. Won the 1998 Nationals Pontiac Grand Prix. Now it is about to see. Delco right side, Mason McGahey left side. That mark continues to light it up. And a 669 for Mason.
Greg Stanfield.
This far down the track.
Christian Quadra.
You don't see that like driving over like that. And it wasn't this big, like a sudden move, but to see him even close to the center line.
All right, here we go.
About like what? Deal is, you don't need to big extended ski every year. So I got out my Western Western. That's what 668.9 at 206.
Matt Latino
Jay Conklin.
on the close side.
Matt Latino now.
Jed
Outside
Coughlin.
goal. Skag.
The
Back it
natural.
up from the burnout.
Jed Merrill on the far side.
Took down Greg Anderson in the final round 1 year ago. Scan that QR code. Get involved. That's Matt Patino. A little education for Dream Giveaway. They're going to put a couple of G-Sport Jesse converters
Here we go.
on the Dream Giveaway machine.
Now Latino right now is on a round 1 collision course with his KB Tyson teammate, Corey Reed.
Wow, that was
Has the first pair out in Pro Stock with 8-9 story in the yard.
Matt has been amazing. First, working the second child. Matt Latino, another great reaction time. 667.9, 204.08 for Jake.
Matt Latino no longer on the collision course with Corey Reed.
On the far side. Corey Reed. The final round. And the ball. Right. Troy Conklin Jr.
Could've run to David Quadra earlier, Joe.
Well, got a great car and he wants to go number one. We're about to find out if he can.
But I would leave you guys so fast. Those are my daily drivers. I do not own an automatic.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, that's like a Gen 1, right? Yeah, V1. 60. Welcome. Thank you very much.
What's going on here? Corey Reed pushed back. They're just re-aiming him, okay. Not often you see that, backed up all the way there, just get re-aimed or re-lined up or whatever you would call it. Here we go.
Here we go. David Fly right. Corey Reed. Another one, 669, 668 over there on the left-hand side for Corey Reed. So Corey.
668 to 669 are good runs.
And that
And
was the deal. I want to be
672
like my dad. He used to
wouldn't
always
get
tell me my whole
qualified.
life how cool.
These are just about that.
Going off.
Yeah, going up. That's what the happy hour is doing.
There we go. Cody Coughlin. Johnson Horsepower Garage. Chevy Camaro on the far side.
Alright,
here we go.
Qualifier position for the first time. One race to go. This Summit Racing Equipment now on the side pole position as well. With a 4 at 204 for Cody Coughlin. Better at the two runs, 671.9 for Eric.
The KB cars just making so much
Second to last run of the Pro Stock. The last one before we run our final round.
numbers compared to Andrew. She had
Fast and Tasty County.
15,000.
There we go. Greg Anderson.
Cody Coughlin had driven him out of the half track.
Side.
About the progression of the not quite there.
And how do you get there?
Well, the next two things, right? Like, how do they get?
You want to see more Pro Stock racing?
Testing them. They did some R&D in the shop. They did more time.
Pro Stock fan, guess what? I have a treat for you.
What are they going to do out of Bristol?
See that reflection in the mirror? That's Mountain Motor Pro Stock. And they're up next, and they're going to have their own video.
They're going to go test it.
Just the Mountain Motor Pro Stock cars.
They will skip Richmond, as you said. We'll go to Normal.
And the Nitro Experience. Now I'm saying Nitro. That's just the name of the
But it was
series,
almost
Nitro.
unfortunate. Several years ago,
About more than just Nitro cars. Vincent Noville was this week's guest on it.
The cars,
And really
they used to nose in the cars into the pits. And it was very secretive, everything that was going on in Pro Stock.
He gave a tour
wanted fans to
of,
understand Pro Stock a little bit better, so they made him turn
Explained how the car worked, and we're going to have a couple clips of his passes on it. It's really cool. So I strongly recommend you go check that out. But here we go. That was when Greg Anderson.
At a 666.1 at 205 for Dallas Glenn, low of the session.
Low ET by
Almost
2
seventh for the
hundredths of a
session,
second for Dallas
659
Glenn there.
That is 18,000s on the field in pro stock is doing something special for Dallas
Anderson
Glenn.
make a
Dallas
bad
Glenn
run
has
at
had the
all.
best car
Dallas
throughout
Glenn was
qualifying, but right now, we're going to go
Final
down
round
to the
time.
starting line to
This is the
saddle on track
2022
Aaron, young racer, son of Greg Stanfield, Eddie
I
Bernacchi,
believe
Matt's crew chief,
2022
won the
U.S.
U.S.
Nationals winner
Nationals
too.
with Aaron's dad back in
Aaron
2010, a couple of years
Stanfield
back,
won this
racing
race
for
then,
Captain
when Erica had
Chaos,
that big
now
explosion.
tuning for Hartford. Eddie has won the U.S. Nationals with Hartford as well.
And Matt Hartford.
Aaron, a great driver.
won the
They've had
US Nationals,
burn downs
so-
in the past. They've played staging
see
games
what
in the
happens.
past. Who
As Joe Costello just said, Matt Hartford won the last Mitsubishi Fast and Tasty Challenge. And Aaron Stanfield has not won one all season at this point.
They'll tell you.
an insane race. A win by Aaron Stanfield. 668.8 beats a 668.5. It's 0
to a 0-13.
0
Great race.
4/10,000
Won by 4/10,000. Yep.
and
Wow.
Aaron Stanfield
Great race.
is your winner. Jr., Matt Latino, and Jen Coughlin, as we said. Aaron Stanfield, Mason McGahey, and Cody Coughlin, and Greg Stanfield.
This will be the last thing put on this
Other side
video.
of the ladder.
Greg
Still got a
Anderson
full
races
session
Eddie
to
Delco
go.
round 1. Eric Enders and Corey Reed in round 2. Matt Hartford races his buddy Derek Kramer. And, oh look, Twinsies. A battle of the twins. David and Christian Quadra. The twins are going to battle it out in round number 1 of Pro Stock.
Is that our marquee matchup? Since we're not going to see him until Brainerd, there are 2 brothers. We've done it a bunch of times. I mean, not always, but it's been a minute. For Hartford and Kramer, we're going to have to dig into this. We're going to have to think about it. Right down there, Chris Boston with 704.6, 190.105.
Flying Ryan Ayler.
Bostic's a character.
And I always say this guy is the most ballsy, most crazy
All right, so next
thing
pick
I've
is
ever
ready
seen
to
in my
launch.
life.
We have Mark Ingerson
Who
on
in
the
their
right-hand
right
side. So we're at
mind
the top of the racetrack.
races a
Taking
pro
the
stock
race
motorcycle
lead.
to begin with? Then who in their right mind races against a funny car?
Jesse, number 1
That's
qualifier
crazy.
in Pro Stock is Dallas Nunn. And Dallas,
And then to
how
add on to
were
that,
you
he
able to
beat the funny
manage
car.
these tricky conditions?
Oh, you know, that was more
Guy's
of a crew
insane.
chief. I was just sitting in the driver's seat trying to do the best I can.
If I could interview him one day,
We
that'd be a
definitely
heck of
threw
an
one down
interview.
when it mattered
Yeah,
last
what's it
night.
like to
Even
race
though
a
I felt
nitro
like that
funny
last
car?
one we made there was way better. But, you know, Rad Torque Systems and everybody at KB Titan, we came home real quick from Epping, and they went really hard work on my engine that I hurt there. And I think it's definitely...
For flying Ryan Ayler, flying Ryan.
I mean,
with his
I
best
wasn't
run of the
there.
weekend
I
in
didn't
Q4.
video it, but I think you can find it on YouTube.
703.1. Yeah.
I'm thinking Monday Morning Racer or Competition Plus, one of them may have it.
Both
great racing channels.
Check
A
out
lot
the
of great
track.
I'm pretty sure.
Everybody else is over there drinking margaritas, and Fly Ryan was drinking real fast juice.
Let's go down to the starting line. Courtney Enders.
Now what you're seeing on the starting line right here is Tim Kalungian's birthday, and he loves attention. So we just want to bring attention to all of these Tim Kalungian heads that are on here. So happy birthday, Tim, and I know this is all of you.
How many are down there, Courtney?
Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're everywhere. I don't know.
That's a lot of Tim Clark.
Great job, guys.
Smith,
More
always the last one
I think is
to get
built
driving.
NHRA drag racing back for many years.
There's a lack of embarrassment of Pro Stock
Well, the
motorcycle.
giant heads in particular, need more giant heads. Mainstream sports, the arenas of the nation are all full of she's across it. Had the
Boy, and even Chase had to pull the clutch in there. That could have been.
Very close race, but is this a good sign for Team Elite?
That was a good drag race right there, but I know one thing, you know, we've struggled hard these first few races of the season, and these Elite Motorsports boys have been working their tail off and keeping their head down, and, you know, I just try to do the best I can do behind the wheel, and everybody's been working really hard, so I want to thank all of them, and, you know, thank you to all our partners, JHG, Melling, Joe Janik, and all our other partners. It's, you know, they stick with us through thick and thin, and we're grateful for that, and hopefully this sets us up good for tomorrow. Thank you.
Aaron Stanfield, great
So
young
Matt
man.
Smith
good
is
kid.
behind Angie.
Gadsden and Angie Smith. Both quietly had a very solid. Richard Gadsden is your new #1 qualifier, and he takes it back from Braden Davis.
Pro stock race. That's there. One more pair of stock motorcycles.
Circle last time out.
Great greatness over there on the far side.
Powertrain Incorporated, Braden Davis, Douglas Georgia.
And Matt Smith on the close side.
And he's gone to the top, lost the spot, took it back, lost the spot. Can he take it back? That's going to be interesting to see. Other side of the track, we got the Pro Stock Motorcycle. Gage Herrera lingers back there as well. Takes back the #1 qualifying position. And it is a high five. The guy who can take the fight to Gage Herrera.
A lot of talk
Will
here
the call start
about how
inside the house?
it's not Braden Davis' #1 qualifier. He is an Milwaukee.
That's all I'm
Last
saying.
time I was at a racetrack and saw Gage Herrera lose, it was in the final round of the Thunder Valley Nationals
Champ,
to
back to
Steve
back,
Johnson.
defending race winner.
So,
Going side by side with fan favorite. Two-time
Gage
U.S.
Herrera
Nationals
red
winner
lights like
Steve
he
Johnson
did
told
then, it
Plumbing.
won't matter.
A whole lot of people helping out Steve, a whole lot of people.
But
Loving and
the fact
appreciating
that they're
Steve, but
racing
he's
might
at
have a little pressure on Gage
a
Herrera.
disadvantage.
I seem to recall, Joe,
See what
was it
happens.
not Steve Johnson
Johnson's on the close side. Gage Herrera on the far side. See what
who
happens.
was the first to beat Gage Herrera on a Vance Hines Suzuki?
That is 689, 196, and Braden Davis will be your #1 qualifier in Mission Foods Pro Stock. Let's go down to the starting line and check in with
but
Courtney
especially the one
Andrews.
tomorrow, the Eliminations Day.